Righty. Well, forgot to take that down. All right. How's everybody doing tonight?
I have a question. How did I get here
Get where?
on your stream? I was just on another one.
Oh, man.
I know what it is. It's like Star Trek. I said, beam me up, Brennan.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I was actually thinking about that joke the whole time that music was playing.
That's great. That's great. I like it.
Oh, shut up, Matt. No, I do not drink a freaking 6-pack of an IPA called Voodoo Ranger, and I didn't work 30 hours yet, so I'm good. You got quite a few people in here.
Yeah.
Gina, Queen Gina is taking a nap for some reason.
Yeah. See that. Slacker.
I don't know. The parrot must have needed Paulie wanted a cracker.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep,
Scotty.
there's a punch coming.
On the Oscars. Annette, Mark, Bunny, Geek Boy, and Annette. I think I already said Annette. Matt, Swampy Acres. Hope you guys are all doing good. You know, chit-chatting. Tonight we're going to be talking about pests in saltwater aquariums. Keep it simple.
I'm down to learn.
Yeah. Gina is busy making cheesecake.
No, if you heard the bird, and there it is again.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
It's coming to get me.
I didn't even notice that. Give it a minute here for Gina to get back. All right. Is that why Skipper is your guest?
Yes, I'm the biggest pest of them all.
I did say your whole name. My mic probably cut out. Thanos kind of speaking lowly.
Got the fellers across the pond. Got the Mark Sterelson and the GRB.
Yeah.
Mystery snails on the other damn side of the country.
Yeah. Usually Debbie Holding, and she likes to stop in too. I have a couple people that watch from Taiwan and Indonesia. They don't ever talk.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it shows when you look at your analytics.
Yeah. Doesn't tell me who exactly, but it shows me like where they're from. and a percentage of the people or the amount of my viewers that are from where. That's it.
You know, I actually never looked at that. Like
I thought it was interesting to know where my viewers are from. You know what I mean? Gives me a better idea of how to make it more open to people from everywhere, if that makes any sense. Welcoming to everyone.
right. No, yeah, I get that. I just never did it. That's interesting.
It's about all the
Hi,
analytics I look at. I try not to look at all the other stuff so it doesn't get in my head. Doesn't look like there will be a Tams tomorrow. Oh, damn.
Boy, there's a lot of shit going on. She got the flu. Supposedly Jess does.
Mm.
Supposing her community tab, and then Glitch Aquatics finally moved.
Yeah.
Cow, where have I been?
Everybody's been pretty busy lately. A lot of us are getting ready to go to the class.
See, that's the thing. You got so much going on. And if you're like me, getting involved like I did, trying to get all that together, and then plus on top of other stuff, I was helping with the gun drawing there. What was that? 2 weekends ago, or no, last weekend. Gina, Bunny just fired you.
No, I'm fired.
Zen, how's it
Goodbye.
going? Speaking of Glitch, hey everyone lurking. The move went great. Just tired as fuck now. I'm glad everything went good. Thanks for stopping in, Jake.
Listen, that is the worst thing to do in your life is to move.
I
Like-
enjoy it.
No, I freaking hate it because you get established somewhere, right? And then you're moving, so you got to pack everything, and then you go to this one area of your house, let's just say the attic, and you're like, why am I holding on to this? So now you need a dumpster to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, I've moved around my whole life a
I
lot.
feel
Like where I live now,
I-
I've lived here longer than I have anywhere else my entire life, like collectively. And I've been here about five and a half years now. So like, I don't like it. I feel like I need to move all the time. 'Cause I'm just not used to it, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've been in this house for same about 5 years. I still have boxes in my basement that I've never unpacked, that I've never touched. I just need to like just throw them straight into the dumpster because obviously I haven't touched them in 5 years. I don't need it.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's like anytime I go down there and look for something, I was like, oh, this, I forgot about this. And then I want to like hoard everything and keep it all, even though I haven't touched it for 5 years. Yeah.
Well, that's just like imagine doing. Well, I'm just going to give you an example. I remodeled my kitchen, this year. So you put everything in a tote and you move it down. Then you the kitchen remodel, and you thought that you had every tote up there. No, I can look over there and there's still about 3 of them that needs to go up, and I don't really want to do it right now. Well, Bunny, that's how I learned. She said about her dad was a career army, so they moved a lot. That's how I learned to move. The funny story was my cousin, he just built this house, and he's moving his stuff in. He goes, I can't get this mattress up these stairs. I said, well, I'm going to tell you how we're going to do it, and you're going to be surprised. It's all about the angles, right? I said, I told him, whenever you do it like 50 million times helping people out in the military, because base housing, they had the weird angles. I said, we'll get it up there. We got it right up there. He goes, I'll be damned. I said, hey, whenever you help a lot of people, you're going to figure out ways to get stuff to where it needs to be. Whether you got to take a window out or you have to take that door completely off the hinges,
I've had to completely remove windows to get tanks into customers' houses.
Oh, I believe it.
They want a 3,000 gallon tank. That thing ain't going through a 3-foot window.
that big empty 500-gallon at work. So apparently, when they ordered that, they actually ordered two because one was for a customer and then one was for the store. They just called over the weekend, said their tank just sprung a leak, and they had to remove a window to get that tank in the house. So now we might not be having that 500 as a display tank because it's the sister tank. It might be going to that customer's house now.
Fuck that. Tell them to sell them a brand new one.
Right.
Yeah. Oh no, they'll
Make-
be paying full price for it, but
I'll
Yeah.
see. That's shitty. The used tank has been used for a couple years. I ain't paying full price for that.
no, it's not used. It's not filled. It's the empty 500. Yeah,
Oh, so it's never been used at all?
it's never been used. It's got
Oh,
that
wow,
big
wow.
orange sump underneath it.
Okay.
But yeah,
okay.
it's just empty. So
Well, if it's brand
was
new, why
meant
the
to
hell
be
not?
yeah, it's been empty because the boss was supposed to set it up and have it as a giant reef, to put all the big colonies in to display kind of what they look like in a tank instead of in the stored tanks. He thinks they'll sell better that way, but he never set it up, and kind of good thing he didn't because now it's going to the customer's house.
Yeah. I thought,
So they're gonna have to remove a window again to get everything. No. Lady Diane, I am not free this Thursday. I actually have to have Saturday off for my sister's bachelorette party. So I'm actually working this Thursday. Of course, the one Thursday you ask is the Thursday that I'm
Mhm.
working.
Yes. I'm totally okay with being a gypsy. Keeps me on my toes.
I moved like 3 or 4 times before settling into this house. So yeah, no, moving sucks. And especially if like not organizing your boxes sucks, but it's so much easier to pack them when you're not organizing them, but it just sucks to unpack them. But then organizing to pack boxes also sucks. Like it's yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like some people get, right there. Bunny's even saying it. Like her dad was Army. She moved around every 2 years. It got old real quick. It never got old for me. It just became normal for me, I guess. Over
Yeah.
that. You're muted, Skip.
Do we offer a warranty on big tanks? So that would be a manufacturer warranty. We don't offer a warranty through the store. That's all manufacturer warranty. So yeah.
I don't know very many places that offer warranty like that.
They do. So Planet Aquariums does, as long as you get I don't think it's Planet that, maybe it is Planet that makes the stands. You have to use a certain brand stand, either their brand or whoever they partner with. If you don't use whatever designated stand, then that voids the warranty. But usually it's like a 5-year warranty, I believe.
Yeah, because like me, all of the tanks that I get, I won't do warranty simply because you can't guarantee why it happened, whether it's human
Right.
error or what. And even if it is human error, it's not like they're going to tell you.
Right.
So, what's that company that you can order them custom tanks from?
There's a lot. Glass Box Garden, or not Glass Box Gardens. Water
Oh,
Box.
God,
Aquarium. There's so many.
There's Planet who we order.
They posted on YouTube. I think they got a YouTube channel. Oh, let me think. But anyways, if you would order a tank off of them, do you think they would have some kind of warranty? Because it's yes, thank you, Bunny Viper. Custom aquariums. Boy, that was so simple.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
that?
I could see them doing something like that.
Usually, yeah, and it's usually like if they make stands, you have to use their stand, otherwise it voids it. But yeah, I think most manufacturers do offer some kind of warranty.
Okay.
They make you use the stand thing because they know those tanks are safe on that stand, particularly.
Well, wouldn't they make that stand around that aquarium, though?
Yep, that's the whole point of it, yeah.
Because, I mean, if you come up with some off-the-wall freaking measurements and you want one that's like U-shaped, you know, an upside-down U for in your bedroom as a headboard, which I've seen those. They're pretty cool. Yeah, I was always wondered about that. I think it's pretty cool because I've watched the video of whenever they was making these tanks, and some of them tanks they literally got a stand in them to do the caulking and stuff like that. I'm like,
Yep.
that's a big tank I'd love to have, but I just ain't got the room for it.
Right. That most people's houses, even with structural support, can't handle 3,000 gallons or some shit.
Well, damn well it's going in their basement.
Oh yeah, if you can get the tank down there.
Well, yeah, my basement ain't coming down. Not that step.
Yeah, if they can afford a big tank like that, they usually have a walkout in their basement.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I got the old, well, I actually custom fitted. I made my own door for my basement. You normally get that metal ones. You go like this, and you think you're in Kansas. There's a tornado coming.
Yeah.
Or the one that was here, they made it, and then I just made a new one. And then you got them 3 steps. Then you stand up. If you're over 6 foot tall, you're bending over in my basement.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work. They gotta make a special short stand just for that.
Yeah.
So Bunny Viper says she got her 180 from there.
Oh, cool. That's pretty cool.
Aw, Lady Diane.
Melvin, Lady Diane.
Have a good night, Lady Diane.
I gotta tell
Have a
you.
good night. I will not bend over in your basement, sir, Matt says.
Yeah, that's what you say now.
Wait till you see my fish tanks.
And never to look in them. Good night, Lady Diane. Oh man, that woman's a trip too.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome. I freaking missed the Maasai meeting again. I got the YouTube notification because they live stream it, and I'm like, dang it, it was tonight. Dang it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have time to drive 2 to 4 hours south of me just to go to any meetings, so I just don't. They're not hardly even worth the time anyways. They're pretty bad.
It was like right when I sat down with food. Like I got home from work, I sat down with food, and I got the notification. I was like, dang it. Dang it. It was tonight.
I want to get that note. I was over it. What time?
7 or 8? No, 8. It's at 8.
Yeah, I was over her sister's house.
9 o'clock your time.
Yeah. Yeah, I was still there then.
I don't like people, so I don't go to meetings. See, I'm never there for the people. I'm always there for the info and the fish. So that helps a little, but when the club themselves are pocketing money on the side and everything else, you start feeling a certain way about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you know the Zen Ginger was having a wet t-shirt contest at her house?
What the fuck?
Oh.
I wasn't invited?
Yeah. She goes, okay, I'm back and no longer soaked in aquarium water.
Man.
That's shitty.
Interesting. And then
None of us were invited.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then you got
Hippie John.
Hippie John.
Whip's World. Hermit for life, right?
Let's get tanked. I like it.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I sit by myself unless Lady Diane's there, or if Danny's there, or if Biz is there, then I'm sitting with them. But yeah, otherwise I'm just like sitting by myself, not talking to anybody.
I don't know. I'm a weirdo, even if it's people that I know. Like you guys kind of saw me at the Clash. Like, I can't sit in one place for too long. I have to get up and go do something, and then come back around and just keep doing that, or else I'll go nuts.
Or he's standing behind you in the elevator, talking, and you walk out, and then you're talking to him, and it's like, oh, hey, shit, that's Brennan.
Yeah.
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 Every
Or Friday night, After I had a few drinks, I kicked off my shoes. I'm sitting Indian cross-legged Indian style in the little area with my shoes off, and everyone's like, "Are you comfortable?" I was like, "Yeah." My feet were swelling, so yeah.
And Skipper walked in the elevator and he started backing up, not looking. I was like, "Don't get too close now. I might feel a hand on you." And he didn't even realize who I was.
No, I didn't. Then we get to the bottom floor and we're all hanging out there.
If somebody said that to me and I didn't know who it was, I'd be like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?"
That sexual harassment, like nothing.
Oh, listen, it didn't bother me at all because of where I work. But anyways,
Yeah.
so I honestly, when he said that to me, I was like, God damn, that voice sounds familiar. And I'm racking my brain, and I honestly, I did look back at him and said something. Don't remember what I said. I was like, dude, that dude looks familiar. And I'm just trying to rack my brain. We get to the ground floor and we go out. We're all standing in a circle and we're talking, and it clicked. I was like, dude, where's your hat? Because he wasn't wearing a hat. That's how he got me.
Yeah.
Wearing
Forgot my fucking hat at home. I never forget my hat, but I go to the Clash and or the Triple Crown. That's the first thing if I can forget. Pissed.
That is funny.
I also turned my name tag around so nobody could see my name.
Yes, it was right. It's one of them creepy things that you got to look into their eyes and be like, I know this person. I got to recognize them from this part down.
Yeah.
Well, like I said before, I didn't recognize Skipper until he started talking.
Mm-hmm.
He came up to me and he goes, "Yeah, I forgot my neck brace. I was going to wear my neck brace." And I'm just like, "Oh, shit, it's Skipper. Okay."
Yeah, and I got a big old hug. He's like, that's better than a throat punch.
Jeff Kane, welcome. Vibes. Hippie John.
That was funny. All right. We're 20 minutes in, and you guys, I can't say we, talked about saltwater parasites.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about saltwater critters that might get in your tank. Gina might know a little bit more about this than I do, actually, because I've only ever ran into an issue a handful of times, particularly with flatworms and stuff like that. So,
Yep. I deal with flatworms at work. I deal with bristleworms. I deal with
bristles.
Asia. Right now, we think we have internal parasites going through the fish on the wall, so we're treating for that, which is fun.
And when it comes to saltwater, there's so many different types of parasites that it could possibly be.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So
we have like a whole regiment that we have lined up right now that we're going to treat over the next like 2 to 3 weeks.
Try to round out, put everything in.
You know how in freshwater you have, like, we'll just say a cure-all in a way. Is there something like that in the saltwater side?
Not really. You can use General Cure. That's salt. That's marine safe.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually our last round of treatment is going to be General Cure because it's not only the Metro, it's got another medicine in it. Because we normally treat with Metroplex. Herb Tana you can use with saltwater too. It's just that there's so many different types. So you have to use, like we went to what's that website? What's that forum that everybody always goes to for fish sickness?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I just blanked on it. Anyway, we went on there and we have like a whole list of medications meant for different types of parasites, and we have a whole regiment planned out. And it's the thing with internal parasites is that you can't just treat the tank; you need to treat the food to be most effective.
Yep, it's not like you can treat with salt or anything like that. Because you know what I mean.
Oh,
doesn't make any sense.
You can do the opposite. You do a freshwater dip.
Yep. You know how you had salt? Yep. Yeah. fresh
But
water fish dipped in salt water for a lot of different reasons. You can do the same thing with saltwater fish, and like the only true
it's
like
tricky.
I would kind of say kind of cure all or fix all is going to be keeping up with your water changes, and keeping your parameters on check more than anything.
And your sourcing, where you get your fish from.
Yeah, that helps a lot too.
I'm sure the saltwater side, there's probably, I would think, a lot of overbreeding. Does that sound right?
No, there's a lot of wild catching.
Yep.
So there's a lot of wild catching. Not everything.
There's more wild caught fish in the saltwater hobby than there is aquarium bred.
Yep. So we just had a transshipment. That's where we think this internal parasite came from, is from the transshipment.
Oh, like the tank that it was in until we bought it. Okay.
Yep.
Straight from Indonesia, like straight from the oceans in Indonesia into a box into our store.
That and a lot of times, like in cases like that, these guys don't collect these fish and quarantine them before they ship them out. They'll collect them, let them sit in a tank for 2 or 3 days until they're able to get them in a box and ship them right out. So with that being said, it can have anything inside those fish or on those fish. It could have anything.
See,
the corals too.
So what they're doing is they're trying to make a quick buck, essentially.
Yep, and this is the whole. It all goes back into the whole big ordeal over in Indonesia and everywhere, where they're banning the collection and export of corals because it's so over collected.
Okay.
Yep.
And a lot of other places around the world have been considering doing the same and stuff like that, just because it's that bad. People collect the fish out of the wild like that much. It's decimating entire populations. It's driven some to extinction. It's wild.
That's why Hawaii shut down. Yeah, that's why there's so much red tape for Australia. Yeah.
I watched a video once of kind of almost like a coral farm where they were fragging stuff. So with that, if you're doing a lot of fragging and you're doing your quarantine before you send them out because you're trying to grow them too, is that the better way to get corals without parasites?
Yeah, you're gonna find that you're gonna have a better quality. First off, because they're established to being an aquarium. Second, if they're doing that, they're obviously treating for parasites and stuff like that. So all in all, you're gonna have a better chance and a better go at things getting from people like that. But who those people are is a whole other ball game in and of itself. To find them can be very difficult. Because if you don't have a wholesaler's license, if you don't have a business, most of the time, most of these people you'll never even get in contact with.
I'm trying to remember, somebody toured that facility, and this was years ago, like probably 2019, 2020, to where I remember seeing that, and I just can't think of the name of the place. It's in the United States, actually.
Tidal Gardens?
What is it?
Was it Tidal Gardens?
It may have been.
Tidal Gardens is a big one.
They actually just replaced all their lighting too. They're always updating their lighting to like the most efficient. But yeah, they spend a lot of money.
Yep, they have a good YouTube channel, very fancy.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it was like a YouTuber like us that went in and just, I mean, of course, they probably had 1 million subs at that time. I just can't remember who it was, but they just went through and they were just showing everything that they had.
Was it Jake Adams? Was it Reef Builders?
I can't remember. It's been so
right.
I just remember watching it, and they were showing how they fragged it, put them on them things. I don't know what's called.
Yep. Frag plugs.
Yeah, the plugs.
Yep.
And it was pretty neat. I was like, well, that's smart.
They get scientific with it, like lab scientific with that stuff. It's wild.
Yep.
Yeah.
In another note, when getting stuff like that that is properly cared for and stuff before it's sent to you, you're going to pay more for it.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, if it was me and I had a saltwater tank myself, I wouldn't mind doing that, paying
Right.
that, because you know what you're getting.
Yep, exactly. And that same theory goes into play with freshwater fish or reptiles
Yeah.
or anything like that. And it's people seem to think it's a lot more difficult than that.
I don't think it. So essentially, what the saltwater side needs is fish breeders too.
Yep. We need
And
more people to crack these different fish to breed in aquariums.
Yep.
That's going to help repopulate areas in the wild that are missing fish. It's going to help all the way around in the hobby for everyone. It's going to make fish cheaper. Because saltwater fish are expensive, But most of all, it's going to be protecting a lot of the other species that are in the wild from further collection and diminishing their wild population.
Yep.
And I think an upside to if you can crack the breeding of the saltwater fish in an aquarium, like somebody like me that does not have a saltwater tank that would like to do it, when you go and you start looking at the fish and you look at that price tag, I go to the other side of the aisle. And that's what it is for me. That I think, me personally, that is what's keeping me from doing it. But yet, have I bought some Corydoras? It was probably, we'll say 5 of them for $200. Yeah, but I got 5 fish. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that's what scares me from it, because I love saltwater. It's beautiful. And I'd love to learn all that scientific stuff with the parasites, how to take care of it and stuff. But me, I got to have fish. That to me is what scares me away from it.
Yeah. It's fine. There's forums to look everything up to how to deal with it.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Okay, remember last night me telling everybody that big explosion that I heard?
Yeah, what was it?
Dude, about 3 miles away.
Oh, geez.
Some dude's fucking propane tank blew.
Oh.
Like, like the big, like, couple 100-gallon propane tanks you see?
Like
blew the fuck up.
Oh, my God.
3 miles away, and that shit shook my house.
And he probably needs a new house.
He does. Yeah. He's dead. He's dead.
Oh, that part sucks.
It was pretty nasty. It was all over.
Oh.
We're still doing investigation and stuff like that to see why it even blew.
Yeah. See if it was tampered with or who was at fault.
Yeah. Or some hitman was there.
That was wild.
Listen, man, you never know these days.
Funny, it says $50 for a fish, and I really have to say, really want them. $500 is insane. $50 is cheap for a saltwater fish.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have some in the store that are like $25, $30, but
if you get like green chromis and stuff like that, you can get down to like $10, $15,
Brandon, we don't talk about damsels.
You might not. I like damsels. Green chromis are fantastic.
Damsels and green chromis are around $15, $16, but I don't talk about those.
Green chromis were my first saltwater fish.
Yeah, it's a lot of people's first saltwater fish.
I think
chromis are fun. We can talk about. But no, whenever we get those transshipments, my coworker loves to get into like the corals and stuff. Like we had some pipe organs come in, and she found all kinds of shrimps, and she's really looking for like gorilla crabs. So crabs that are not reef safe, they usually have black pointed tips on their claws. And then we'll feed those to like the puffers or the triggers or something. But yeah, we're always looking for those. Make sure they're not going to tear up all the coral in the tanks. Yeah. We once got a sponge in that had a ton of little baby brittle stars in it. That was pretty cool.
So you never know what you're getting in. Like
Yeah.
that's with it.
Yep. Speaking of weird random fact, do you guys know the most imported and wild collected fish in the world?
I was going to
You
say
asked it before. Was it Bangai? No,
Green chromis.
green chromis. That's right.
Hmm.
Yep. Hold on, I'll be back. The dog's went in.
Oh, you're fine. Which is weird because you would think there'd be more food fishes that are wild caught and exported and stuff like that.
yeah, but that's a different category though.
Yeah.
Because you're using it for food, not for a hobby to keep it alive.
Well, yeah, but the report that this was taken from was overall all fish, not specifying them as food items or anything like that.
I don't believe that then. Because oh man. Well, okay. We'll hold that thought because a lot of your fish nowadays it's used for food. Your salmon, tilapia, haddock, cod, a lot of them's farm raised. Unless I mean some of them's wild caught too, but a lot of them got essentially farms set up for them out in the waterway. So okay, I could believe that. Yeah, I could believe that.
I thought it was pretty crazy too because I always thought, like I said, it'd be something more like food fishes or something like goldfish or something like that. But
Well, goldfish are bred probably around here.
I guess goldfish was a bad example.
Yeah, it was.
Koi are imported from Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not. What he's saying is what's caught out of the
Right.
say use a fish net or a trap or a fish hook, or you go down in and bag them up in the saltwater side. But
And then thinking like, all right, how many years I've been in the hobby, how many times I've seen green chromis, and it's not that often. Not a whole lot of people seem to be interested in green chromis.
I gotta look.
And then you see that, and it's like, what? Yeah, this was on.
No, I need to look that fish up. Green, CRO.
Nope.
Just how it sounds.
CH.
Yes.
Chromis is CH.
Yeah. Oh, that's not a bad looking fish.
No.
And it's most people's first fish in a tank.
They call it a blue-green crumb is what I found.
Yep.
So yeah, there's blue, there's green, there's blue-green, there's blue reef. Yeah. There's
yellows too. There's,
yellows.
What are they? Like a pinkish kind of color.
Indigo.
What's it called? Yeah, indigo.
Indigos.
Is that kind of like your what do they call them, cardinals?
It's kind of like the white skirt tetra.
No. I'm talking. Oh, what's that freaking saltwater fish? It's probably called a cardinal. No.
They're cardinals, yeah. Like a Bangai cardinal or a pajama cardinal.
Pajama cardinal.
Yeah.
Because they like to school together too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
With green chromis, you can't have too big of a school. They'll end up killing each other when they get bigger. You'll get down to like 2 or 3.
So you should make like 6.
Yeah, they're cheap. That's usually what people do.
Most sold saltwater fish.
I'll agree with Andy on that.
Yeah.
Especially on the freshwater side.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with them is the reason why they are the most sold fish is because they are the cheapest. But if you're a beginner and you just start buying them, they're not going to last long because if you don't know how to take care of them to get them built up, because their immune system needs build up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'd be the same way with the green chromis if they're constantly in the hobby.
Yep.
Well, green chromis are also prone to a certain disease that is called the green chromis disease.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a bacterial infection.
It's similar to what like tetras and stuff get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty gross.
Aren't damsels used to test water? Use them, and if it dies, right? No, because a lot of them are really freaking expensive.
Some of them. Now that's old school method, how people would
Yeah.
start it and throw in some damsels. But now
It's really just any dither fish, any fish that you want to do. It's not really those guys specifically.
well, it's just because they're cheap. Like you can't like we have $16 damsels at work, several different kinds, and yeah, people would buy one or two and then throw them in their tank, and if to test to see if it was okay. But the problem with that is that if they survived, they're mean little assholes and they're going to attack anything you try to add to the tank. So
Yep. Got to get rid of them anyways.
Yep.
That's a downfall. They look
Sable.
good. They turn into a betta.
There's some really gorgeous damsels out there. Really gorgeous.
So, Matt, the reason why Gina is wearing her
Yep.
crown because she's the queen of saltwater on this panel.
My queen, my crown of authority.
Andy makes a very good point there. There's green chromis disease and neon tetra disease because they are bred so prolifically.
Right.
Yep.
That's what I was getting at. So maybe the green chromis, they figured out how to breed them to where they can sell more of them.
Did the peas give me power or something? Hey, they didn't say I couldn't wear. In fact, Steven wore his crown during game night last night for a little bit there. So I'm going to take that as a peas stamp of approval.
I say, who gives you shit? If you want to wear it, wear it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I bought it. I have another one right there.
Sorry, I love you, peas. Don't Keystone Clash.
Tina, do you have any saltwater fish that breed in your store tanks? No, they're not in the tanks long enough to breed. We do have pairs. Like we have some wrasses that are paired up, obviously clownfish that are paired up, so that people.
Wrasses are a pain in the ass to get to breed.
Yes, and they're
They'll
pain in the
pair,
ass.
but it's so hard to take care of the eggs if you can even get them to lay.
Yeah.
And then freaking clownfish are a pain in the ass in and of themselves, and they're in their larval stage. They cannot have any light at all. It has to be completely pitch black. How are you supposed to feed that? How are you supposed to keep it that way? It's rough.
So how did you said in larva stage, so they already hatched.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would suck. How are you going to feed them and know that they're getting fed?
Some people I've seen use like infrared cameras and stuff. Some people use actual fucking night vision goggles, all sorts of stuff. But they cannot let any light in there or they will die.
Do you think the old army style green or red light lens would work?
Maybe. I'd have to look into that. Be something to look into.
Because hell, I may still have one here laying around here somewhere. Came with 3 different lenses: clear, red, and green.
Ricky, you're good.
Look into that.
I fell asleep on game night. Obviously not yesterday's because I was on panel, but the one before I fell asleep for that game night. So you're good.
Oh hell, I missed game night last night. What the hell was I doing?
Not playing games with us.
No.
Break down a 250-gallon saltwater tank just to remove one yellow-tailed damsel because it was terrorizing the tank. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The little bastards like to cram themselves in any little nook and cranny they can get furthest away from you.
So I finally was able to get in. You know those little round traps, the little float traps?
Yeah.
That magnet to the side. I finally got one in at work. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So I might post a video after I bring it home of catching all my fish with it. So I can finally kick out all my fish and start a giant 40 breeder nano tank.
There you go. There you go.
Because yes, I have a damsel. I freaking, besides my better judgment, I bought a damsel and I freaking regret it because he's an asshole.
What kind of damsel?
A neon blue damsel. He's all blue.
They're so pretty.
Yeah, all blue.
I like the purple ones, like the neon purple. I can't remember what they're called.
I don't think we've had those before.
They're super, super purple.
So he's called. So I bought him at Petco. At Petco, they're called neon blue, but they're It's a Springer eye damsel, is what they're called.
Nice. Um, another, the parasites and pests that I've ran into in saltwater aquariums, flatworms, bristleworms. I've ran into a few bobbit worms, and also what is it? A little, what are they? They're like microscopic crabs. I can't remember what they're called.
Crap, I'm drawing a blank too.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What a weird name.
Is that the same ones that Jess had in her tank whenever she brought that from the?
No,
Yeah.
she grabbed a Florida fighting conch and it killed all of her snails because it's a snail-eating snail, like an assassin snail.
No, not the conch. She had crabs in her corals that she brought too from down there.
Those might have been like gorilla crab, a type of gorilla crab.
The ones I'm talking about are pretty much microscopic, and they feed on corals and all of your macros and all that stuff.
Is it like a clown crab?
I don't know.
Because we had a couple of those in the last transshipment too. We found like 4 different types of clown crabs. They were little. They were so cute.
Now, the scariest out of all of those that I've had to work with, by far, is the bobbit worm.
Yeah. Lena, my coworker, told me she once found one of those, and yeah, she freaked the fuck out.
Well,
You should be showing pictures of this shit.
bobbit worm? Okay.
If you want to have nightmares.
Straight nightmare fuel. These things get up to like 25 feet long in the wild.
Maybe work
They
them up.
have pincers.
Show a bristleworm first.
I seen them.
And the jaws on this thing are like 2 fish hooks that'll clamp down. It's gnarly.
Yeah, and they're venomous too, aren't they? Or am I thinking of?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, okay, then it is the same one that I'm thinking of. Yeah, she saw one in one of the tanks and freaked out.
These
See,
guys, this is what they look like.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They don't have eyes, so they go by touch. You get near them bristles or anything like that, they will grab you, whether you're a fish, human, whatever.
You
Yeah,
know what
water-
I call that? I call that the predator worm.
Yeah.
Yep.
The claw.
I had a customer that had a tank that was over 25 years old. He had recently gotten rid of all of his fish. Well, no, I wouldn't say recent, about a year and a half before that. Recently got rid of all of his fish, all of his corals, and reset the tank, right? Well, he went with all wild caught corals and fish, and, well, little baby bobbit worm somehow managed to get in his tank, and over the course of that year and a half, it grew up to 3 feet inside that tank.
Yeah, just like that one
And it
down
ate
there in that bare bottom tank.
$6,000 or $7,000 worth of fish over that period of time. He
Yep.
kept losing fish; they disappear entirely, and he could never figure it out. Well, one day I went over there to break down the tank for him because he just got bored with it, and stuck my hand in there and grabbed a hold of that son of a bitch. And yeah,
Did it bite you?
they got bristles on the side of them, right?
Yeah, I see the little feet.
They hurt, by the way.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like if they're out in the loose, you grab a hold of them, they'll reach around and bite you.
Yeah.
Well, I freaked out a little bit there.
Oh yeah.
I poured 1.5 gallons of bleach in that tank.
Yep.
Because if there's one, there's probably more.
Oh,
These are kind of
Is a friend of-
more of the rarer pests to find in a tank, but
Yeah.
they can definitely get there. Bristleworms. Bristleworms are a nocturnal flatworm. They have bristles on them. That's why they call them a bristleworm. When I say nocturnal, when you turn off those lights, that's when they start coming out, and they'll feast on corals, all sorts of stuff. But mostly, the biggest problem with those guys is them feasting on your corals and stuff.
Yeah, usually an infestation in an aquarium is a sign of overfeeding. So they're scavengers.
Yep.
People don't think they're as much of a problem. It's just getting rid of them. So if you have an infestation, you can't just starve your tank because, like Brennan said, then they'll start going after your corals because they gotta eat. So yeah.
Pull a picture of these guys up.
So a lot of them parasites, like them worms, like the bristle worm, and then the one he showed before, it looks like the predator.
The bobbit worm, yeah.
The bobbit worm, you only really need one, and then they just reproduce by themselves, right?
Pretty much,
So-
yeah.
Yeah. Those bristle worms, they're like earthworms. If you break them in half, it'll make 2 worms.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
There's lots of different kinds of them as well.
Yep.
Like these ones you see are just like a brown poop color. Then you got these ones over here that are like orange. This guy's got like red tufts going along his bristles. But the most distinguishing feature of these guys are going to be these real sharp, pointy bristles going all the way down their body.
Yep.
So what's the best way to get rid of them? Do you catch them? Like
You
do they
can.
make a trap for them like they do with snails?
Yeah,
Well-
so there's a worm trap that you can get. Yep, there's the worm trap. Or you can get arrow crabs or coral banded shrimp, and they'll eat them.
Which is a slow process.
It is a very slow process. Yeah. I actually have a short of an arrow crab eating a bristle worm, a big bristle worm that I found. Probably too big for that arrow crab, but it still made a good short.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you can pull it up and show it if you want, Brennan.
What?
The short of the arrow crab eating the bristle worm on my page.
Send a link to me. Oh, I guess I'll get it.
I guess. Hold on. Let me get my second.
That's all right. I can get it. Just gotta open up a new tab. How old is it?
I don't know.
What was the name of it?
I don't remember.
Found it.
Okay.
Good job. Because I did
Thanks.
not.
I'm still pulling up YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, bristleworms equal arrow crab feast. Oh yeah.
If anybody doesn't know what an arrow crab is, in my intro for the salted surprise here, that big lanky looking spider thing you see is an arrow crab. This guy.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
So you have the
That's-
arrow crab up top and then the worm down below.
Yep.
Okay.
Always holding. Yeah.
Yeah, you already grabbed all that damn thing, so I'm gonna get you.
I handed it to users.
All right.
Well, that works too.
Short. Munching away.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, it is.
That's big.
6-7 inches.
Yep. Oh yeah, we find some doozies.
It
Sometimes
happens.
I forget, and I'll kind of grab under a rock or under a coral colony, and I'll forget about them, and then all of a sudden I'll feel something squish, and I'm like, oh no, and I'll have all these little white spikes sticking out of my finger, and I'm like, dang it! Go get a razor blade and scrape them off.
Yeah, that's like messing with fiberglass insulation.
It doesn't hurt like when the initial, but yeah, if you leave it in your skin and it'll burrow deeper, then it irritates you.
Got
So you
that irritation when you yeah.
got to get a razor blade like how you would with a bee sting, and yeah, you just kind of scrape them off.
That's interesting.
I'd rather call them dead long crabs. You're not wrong.
Yeah, like the daddy long-legged spider.
And they're so stupid. We'll get little ones in, and I try to hand feed it bristleworms, and they're like afraid. And I'm like, no, stupid, it's food. Take it.
I love arrow crabs. They're so funny. If you can get them acquainted to being around people and interacting with them, they're actually pretty friendly.
They are.
Scurry up on your arm and hang out on your arm and stuff.
Oh,
Mine like to pull on my fucking arm hairs. It hurt.
Oh, I had a freaking cleaner shrimp do that. He was cleaning my hand and he got right into the webbing and actually grabbed like attached skin and tried to yank it off. I'm like, ow, no, it's still attached. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy.
Rather call them daddy long leg crabs.
That's what I just said, Brennan. Keep
I
up.
didn't see it. Midnight
Yeah.
Lobster, how's it going?
He doesn't listen to me.
No, he doesn't.
Hey,
That's
talking.
like whenever we was in the Indian River Bay. This was like a few years ago, and we got stuck on a sandbar, which was the idea, and we just sitting there looking for clams and stuff. But we just sitting there, and all of a sudden these little fish were coming up to your feet,
Mm-hmm.
like what they use at the the pedicure fish,
Yep.
Yeah.
and that I was like, is this okay?
Right.
Screw it. I'm like, shit, this feels good. Keep going, guys. Like you're getting a little foot massage at the same time.
That's funny.
Gina pulled out a tiara out of nowhere. No, they're right here on my chair. There's another one.
There's
That
a
one-
pond that I used to go swimming in when I was younger. It's closed off now. But you get in there and them fucking bluegill and shit would come up and start nipping at you.
Yeah,
It was funny.
that happens at the lake too. I don't even care. I'm like, shit, do me a favor. I ain't got to do it.
This one you
It's
can't
just a
really
mi-
because it's all silver. So
And your other one's blue, right?
green. Green.
Emerald. Sorry, emerald.
Yes. Nathan needs to make me a stand for him so I can start getting more. Like a hat rack for tiaras.
funny.
Yeah.
You're gonna stream with a rack behind you with all your tiaras.
All the crowns, yeah. Or I'm gonna have a swivel, like have it numbered and let chat pick my crown for the stream.
Pick a number between 1 and 50.
The pest that I've had the most trouble with, or that's been in the most pain in the ass and difficult to deal with, would be flatworms.
Oh. I was gonna say Aptasia, but okay.
Aptasia. Okay, yeah, that's probably up there in the running too. Aptasia is a pain in the ass. Aptasia is a pest coral. Is it?
Anemone.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of its actual scientific name.
Oh, I
Wait a
have
minute.
no idea.
Did you just say pest coral?
That's anemone. Yeah, it's an anemone.
Well, what they do is if you have too much nutrients in the water, nitrates, phosphates, the whole 9 yards, they reproduce like a son of a bitch. In a matter of weeks, a 15-pound rock will have one little piece of Aptasia starting that first day, and at the end, it will be covered. And everything else that was on that rock will probably be dead.
Yeah.
It overtook it.
Danny says it's similar to Hydra.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is.
Yep. It releases spores, and that's how it reproduces. It doesn't split. Well, I mean, they do split also, like regular anemones. But yeah, they release spores, and that's how they reproduce.
Yep. And then if you try to go in and physically remove them off of the rock, breaking them apart will reproduce or throw out spores, or it'll agitate them enough that they'll just start throwing them out.
Yep.
So it's hard to just get in there and get it. They do make lots of different Aptasia treatments, which half-ass work. What I normally do is just replace that piece of live rock or whatever it's on entirely. I'll go throw it out in the sun and let it bake.
Yep, that's what we've been doing at work.
And,
Switching out rocks.
I mean, it's not hard to go find another piece of live rock to replace the one that you just threw out. It's only a couple bucks, you know.
Right.
Yeah, because if they have a foot like an anemone because they are an anemone. But
Mhm.
if you try to like physically remove them, if any bit of that aptasia falls off or is left behind, it'll regrow.
Yep. Besides those, the one I have personally had more issues with are flatworms.
Yeah, we're battling
Um,
that.
they're a pain in the ass,
Yep.
and nowadays they are so, I wouldn't say immune, but resistant to most of the medications and stuff that you use. Um, it takes a lot of time and it takes a good amount of money to be able to treat something like that.
Yep.
A lot of cases, it can very quickly overturn. Certain species of flatworms do different things.
Yep.
Um, some will predate on fish, almost like a leech. Some will eat coral. Some will eat algae. Some will eat. It just depends.
Some will eat specific types of coral. Like right now, we're battling acro flatworms, and
Oh yeah,
for some reason, they love to host euphyllias. So your frog spawns, your hammers, and also
yep,
hairy mushroom or frilly mushrooms. They really like also. They live in them. They don't eat them, but they live in it.
yep. And they'll specifically target the acropora corals.
Yep, to eat.
Huh.
Yep. 6-line wrasse for flatworms and true peppermint shrimp for aptasia. I did not
And
know that about the 6-line wrasse for the flatworms. That's pretty interesting. I'm gonna have to look into
yeah,
that.
you can.
Peppermint shrimp will eat aptasia, but how reliably they will, I don't know.
So okay, what we always tell people at work, the 6 lines are assholes. There are other wrasses that you can get, like leopard wrasses are really good at eating flatworms, and they're more mild tempered. 6 lines can be assholes. Um, um, oh my gosh, what was the other thing? Oh, peppermint shrimp. The problem with peppermint shrimp is that if you feed the tank, they're gonna eat the food.
Yep.
What we do in the store is we have a tank just with peppermint shrimp in it. We actually don't feed that tank. We move frags that have aptasia on it to that tank, and then they'll eat the aptasia. But if you feed the
Well,
tank at all, they prefer the food.
Yep. Sometimes
well,
that can be hard to do if you have lots of other corals and stuff in there because some of them have to eat every day.
Yeah.
So it can be difficult to kind of accomplish. What were you saying, Skipper? I'm sorry.
yeah, but what's nice with that, if you have a tank with that shrimp in, like she said,
Yep.
is if you have a bunch of your frags, your corals on plugs, you can just lift them out and put them over, right?
Yep.
So what you could do is keep them in your refugium if you have a sump. And then, yeah, if you have a problem rock, you can just move it down to your refugium, let the peppermint shrimp take care of it, and then move it back to the green display.
And what makes so if you moved it from one tank to another, you'd have to acclimate it. So when you put it down that sump, you wouldn't
Yep.
necessarily have to.
Yep.
Just plop it right on down.
Yep.
That's
Um,
cool.
Well, yeah, a lot of people don't realize, but it is completely 100% acceptable to keep stuff in your sump.
Yep.
Well, we do on the freshwater side all the time with shrimp too.
Mm-hmm.
Just some of them just happen to get there.
Like refugiums, those are all living creatures living in there that a lot of people have. Crabs, fish, all sorts of stuff. They live down there in that sump.
My friend has a harlequin shrimp, which only eats starfish. So she actually keeps her chocolate chip starfish in her sump because she has corals, and chocolate chip starfish are not reef safe. They'll eat corals. She
Right.
keeps
Luckily, they're pretty cheap.
yeah, she keeps them in her sump, so she'll have like 3 at a time, and then
Now,
she'll cut.
does she cut arms off and then let them regrow?
Yep, she does.
Okay.
She'll rotate between the 3.
Okay.
She'll cut an arm off.
Snip it.
Yeah.
Yep.
With a pair of scissors.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that starfish will regrow that whole tendril.
So what happens with that other tentacle? Just dies?
No,
You cut it up into chunks and you feed it. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Shrimp only eat starfish.
Mm-hmm.
Which shrimp's that?
Harlequin.
Oh.
You've probably seen them. They're in most videos.
Hmm. You can also buy feeder starfish. They're kind of hard to find, but they're little itty bitty ones, like that
The
big.
Asterinas. Yep. That's
Yeah.
another pest. Or Asterina
Yeah,
stars.
yeah. That's another pest that a lot of people seem to have. They come in a lot of corals and live rock. Um, but they're little mini starfish, and sometimes they eat corals,
Hmm.
or they'll simply just reproduce to the point they'll cover whole walls.
Oh,
You
really?
let it go. Oh yeah,
Oh,
if you let it go long enough, they'll. Yeah.
because
Oh, so they're like,
just like how I said with the Aptasia, if you break like an arm off, it'll regrow a whole nother star.
see, that's what I was wondering.
Oh, a minute ago, I don't know. I wonder if
That's
she could grow a whole other starfish. She cut an arm off and just let it go.
If you cut the whole starfish in half, it could happen. You have to cut the mouth in half.
Oh, okay.
With the Asterina,
did a limb, it doesn't.
right. It depends on the species of starfish, but the Asterinas, you can cut one arm off and it'll regrow a whole nother star. But with other ones, you have to like cut the mouth in half.
So wait a minute, that one you just said that big word, okay? You cut the arm off, that arm turns into a starfish?
The Asterina, yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah. And that's why they're pests.
And it's like somebody said in the comments, it was before the starfish, I think. It was Danny. What the hell did he say? Something was like Hydra.
Oh, the Aptasia.
Aptasia, yeah.
Okay, that's just crazy.
Starfish can reproduce by splitting. Yeah, it's like giant cell division, mitosis and meiosis. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could starve the tank, but then again, peppermint shrimp could also go after coral.
Yeah. That's really if they're super starving, because most of the time they host corals over eating them.
Yeah. Because I have 2 peppermint shrimp in my tank, and I have like 3 Aptasias, and they never touch it because I feed my tank. So, yay! But the Aptasia is not getting worse, so that's why I haven't really done anything about it. Because I feel like if I try to do anything else, it's just gonna exacerbate the problem. Everything's fine. Everything cordial. It's not spreading. I'm not gonna touch it.
Right.
Then maybe they are technically keeping them at bay then.
They could be eating like the babies, yeah. If
Yeah.
it does regrow, and then they're probably eating the little baby ones. Because they will. I've heard that they'll do that too. They'll farm the Aptasia.
It makes sense. Call them some food.
Yeah. What are some of the most common ones you run into at the store?
Pretty much what you've said. And then, like I said, the crabs on the new corals. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We found one in a coral that in the transshipment that just came. It looked like almost like a freshwater scud, like it moved really fast and it looked like a little roach. It was really gross, and we don't know what that was, but we chucked it. We're just like, don't know
That's
what you
weird.
were. You're out.
I wonder if it's some sort of copepod or something.
It was small like an amphipod, but I don't.
Amphipod.
We didn't know what it was. So we're just like, nope.
Sketchy. You never honestly, unless you know what you're looking for, you never really know what it actually is. There's a lot of stuff you'll see and you'll never find out what the fuck it is.
So we have peanut worms in the sand bed, also in some of the tanks. And at first, when I first found one, I freaked the fuck out because I thought it was like a leech or something.
Yeah, they're not bad.
No, they're not bad. I took it to my coworker. I was like, I just found this. What is it? And she goes, oh, it's a peanut worm. Put it back. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep.
If Elena doesn't freak out, then I don't freak out. Okay.
It's a good natural source of food for a lot of fish.
Yep. And they make cute little ant mounds too. You can tell where they're at in the sandbed because they make these cute little anthill mounds.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep. Other than that, think that's just it. The flatworm.
Nope. Nudibranchs. There's quite a few species of nudibranchs that are highly carnivorous to corals.
Yes.
A lot of them are.
So every species of nudibranchs has a specific food source.
Yep. I was just getting there. Yep. A lot of them are specific feeders. Going more into that, there's different species that'll eat only certain species of corals. There's certain species that'll only eat algae. There's certain species that'll only eat other nudibranchs. It just goes on. So you really have to pay attention to what you're getting if you ever do get interested in nudibranchs and stuff, which are really cool. There's several thousand different species of them.
Yep.
So just do your little bit of research, make sure you're getting the right ones, and you're good. But you can get those in live rock or corals and stuff.
Yep.
There'll be little itty bitty ones.
We
and those
find
aren't
them shipments also. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And those aren't hard to deal with at all. They're kind of sensitive animals. Usually there's all sorts of different types of treatments and stuff that you can give them, or you can treat your water column and stuff with that'll kill them, starve them out. There's all sorts of different stuff.
Or just a simple freshwater dip.
Yeah,
Take care of them.
Yep, that'll kill them almost right away too.
No,
Those blue dragons eat Aptasia, but their main diet, like in the wild, are actually man-o-war jellyfish.
Yeah, that's why they're venomous or poisonous. Poison? No. Yeah. Wait. Do they bite? Do they inject venom, or is it that they're poisonous?
They sting.
They do sting. Okay, so they're highly venomous. What I was going to say earlier was freshwater dipping with saltwater, you have to be super careful. You need to make sure the pH is the same. That is key to successful freshwater dipping in any saltwater.
And not overexposing.
Yes, you don't want to go more than like somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes, closer to 5 minutes if you can.
Yep.
But make sure your pH is the same.
It's interesting because I remember seeing the videos of doing a saltwater dip.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually kind of crazy to me that you do it the opposite way with saltwater fish.
Goes to show how drastically different the different parasites and bacterias and all that stuff are.
Right.
Marine ick is a different species than freshwater ick. That's why they can't tolerate the other water.
Right. Because what they both thrive off something different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
After Harlequin shrimp decimate the Asterina starfish colony, that is the only way to keep them alive. Really, yeah.
Yep. With the chocolate chips. Yep.
There is blue reef chromis. Go check that out.
Yeah, blue reefs. Yeah. Yeah, Ritesh, we talked about bristleworms earlier.
Yep.
I talked touching them.
Yeah, never just reach in and grab them bastards. It will hurt.
So yeah, when you're picking up a rock, grab it from like the top or the side. Don't scoop it. That's a mistake I've learned. Don't scoop rocks.
I always had a rule: never grab where you can't see.
Have you ever had a customer with a really bad bristleworm infestation where you feed the tank and the rock starts moving?
Yep. It's fucking disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Like it's alive.
Yeah. They all just erupt out of the rock. It's the whole rock just breathing.
Or your customer tells you that he has a bristly star, right? And you go in there and you start cleaning, and it's a freaking 3 foot long fucking bristleworm.
It's funny because it makes it seem like saltwater is an alien world.
It is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's funny. Like the movie Avatar, most of all that alien world stuff is based off stuff in the ocean.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Spaghetti worms are cool too. Yeah.
There's so much that has not been discovered yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Another
also
thing.
you have to be careful with bacteria from the salt water, just the same as you would with fresh water. Wash
Yep.
your hands after you've
The
had
only
your hands.
thing different is there's a lot more different bacterias in salt water.
Yeah.
A lot more. So you never really, it's really, really, really hard to tell with the bacterial infections and stuff what exactly is going on because there is so many.
I'm immune to the freshwater ones because of the lake I used to swim in.
Yep, Bergie and Nudibranchs. Eat the hell out of it.
We breed those at work.
I
I have a
love
short on
Nudibranchs. I love Nudibranchs.
about every other day. I'm picking Aptasia out of the tanks on the main sales floor to feed the Bergia.
I really like the what is it? It's like the orange hammerhead nudibranch. I can't remember the name of it, but it's black and orange. And the orange like goes across the whole rim of him with a white stripe.
Yeah, I don't know what they're
He's
called.
got like a literal hammerhead.
Yeah.
And they're those are my favorite. Besides a couple of the other really neat ones.
There's Ed. What's up, brother?
Hey man, we're doing good this morning.
Yeah, it is actually this morning now.
Yeah, I have a short with the Bergia nudibranchs also. I think it was before. I think it's an older one than the arrow crab. I love them. They're so cute. We have two different bookshelf tanks. One for the adults, that's the breeding, and then we move the eggs to a secondary tank so they can hatch it because they're in a larval stage for like a good month and a half before they actually turn into nudibranchs.
So cute when they're that small though. They're itty bitty.
Once they turn into a nudibranch, they grow so fast. Like we're checking that nursery tank every day for morphing.
Is it like they grow a fourth or a fifth their size every day or something like that?
Yeah, once they hit that nudibranch stage, yeah.
That's crazy.
Grow crazy.
Some of them are super toxic.
Yes, because of what they eat.
Super toxic, yeah. Some of these guys eat some of the most venomous animals on the planet. Their toxins are just
like those blue dragons. Yeah.
Yeah. They eat man-o-war jellyfish in the wild, and that's one of the most toxic or venomous jellyfish on the planet. Well, up there with quite a few of them.
Yep. And they change the color of what they eat too. So if I put a red Aptasia in the tank, their little frillies will turn red because that's their fat stores. It's not actually their gills; it's their fat stores. They'll turn red.
It depends on what species. Some of them, it is their gills.
Oh well, the Bergias, it's their fat.
Yeah, Bergias, no. There's quite a few of them that have their respiratory system.
Because sometimes when I suck them up with a pipe, sometimes the little frillies fall off, and I feel really bad. But
yeah, those guys you don't have to worry about. But a lot of them, they do have external respiratory systems.
I do have a crown on. It's my crown of authority because I know what I'm talking about this time, so I can actually conversate.
I'm just a jester.
You're
actually bringing up a lot of questions that maybe people in chat didn't think of, or
or if we need clarification on something because we're just so used to it, we're just zooming through these topics. You're here for clarity.
Show a damn photo.
There we go.
Look, I know, like me personally, like I never would have thought of all that stuff that we've been talking about. It's in that little box,
It's the most common. This isn't even everything. This is just the most common.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I get that. It's like, we'll say it's a 20-gallon tank. You got some corals going down the middle. You got some stuff going. You got some fish going on. How do you treat it? do you spot treat it or do you like treat the whole water column? It's almost kind of like the same thing as fresh water. But it's a different style of the meds, obviously.
Yep.
Yep.
Like a lot of times with salt, because of a lot of the other sensitive animals you might have around,
Yeah.
best to spot treat when you can.
And that's what I was getting at. It was like if you had, we'll say this rock, and you don't have a sump that you could put in, like say I ain't got a 180-gallon tank with this awesome freaking sump system in there to where I could have certain other creepy crawlers that will eat this one. Like what's the easiest way to treat a tank that doesn't have that you can't just move that piece of rock, and then you don't want to hurt everything else that's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I mean, draining the tank to whatever level you need to be able to successfully treat or spot treat, you need to, and then filling it back up. Kind of a pain in the butt because you can't have it drain too long because a lot of your other corals that are sitting up and out of the water can't be out of the water for more than a bit.
Yeah.
So
Freshwater dip is a really common
Yep.
kind of blanket treatment for most things.
Also, or iodine.
Iodine treatment, yep. Iodine bath.
A lot of people, yep, that kills a lot of bristle worms and stuff like that. It's pretty common to do. Take it out and do it right there in or drain some of your tank water into a 5-gallon bucket and treat it right there in the bucket.
Yeah, because those flatworms, oh my gosh, when we take the euphyllias out to freshwater dip them, they just fall off. It's disgusting. It just rains flatworms.
That's great.
Did you talk to Ricky D? Yesterday I did.
He showed up in your chat here earlier.
Yeah, he passed out for a while. Or
he said
passing out yesterday.
He missed game night because he went to sleep, which is okay. It happens.
It's a Phonophore. Yep. One tank cleaned and checked for fry. Heck yeah. Compromised of a colony of specialized genetically identical individuals called zooids. Yep. Pretty crazy. There's lots of different creatures like that out there. What is it? It's not a jelly. It's not classified as a jellyfish. I think they just call it zooids or something like that. But they'll colonize in masses. They can be up to like 70 feet long and shit like that. It's wild. And it's just like this weird floating, kind of looks like the flesh of a jellyfish just floating along.
There's a Pokemon like that. It's called Wishy Washy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of that, let's go off on a tangent here. Have you been going to McDonald's lately?
I have, but I was too hungry. I was too hungry for just a Happy Meal.
It's funny because we went to McDonald's the other day, and my daughter, she's still little enough that that's good for her. We get home and they forgot to damn put the toy in.
Oh no!
Oh, she was so mad. I'm like, man. I said, I'm sorry. It's a cheap ass toy we don't care about. So the wife goes there before she came over to her family, and she comes in with the toy because she told him, she goes, listen here, y'all forgot to put a toy in my daughter's thing. And I actually
upset.
It's funny. And it's Pokemon at freaking McDonald's. Who would have thought?
Why is that somebody came in and said, I want 6, like you can buy just the toys. And so someone probably went through and took, because they have the boxes already stacked up with the toys already in them. So they grabbed the box. So they probably took the toy out because somebody bought just the toy and they just forgot to put another one back in.
Yeah, that's what happened. And it's funny you said about Pokemon, reminded me of that. But I gotta say, I read Danny's comment there, and I thought I was back in science class.
Yep.
And I actually understood what he said.
Nice. Yeah. What's up?
Ed says he has a Pokemon card.
Nice. I don't know if he knows what kind it is, but
We
we're
probably
talking Pokemon, not Pokemon. I'm sorry. I derailed the stream.
Oh, you're good. We're like an hour and a half into this. I'm sure nobody wants to talk about fucking pests anymore.
I don't know. I was quiet. I was like,
Oh yeah.
That's some creepy shit there.
Uh huh. Those bristle worm or those bobbit worms are what get me.
Yeah.
The last thing I want is one of them fuckers latching onto the side of my hand while I'm reaching my hand in the tank.
Oh yeah, sure.
There aren't really pest snails. No, there
Well,
is.
those conches. Well, I'd consider those big old conscious pest snails because they kill all your good snails.
Well, yeah. No, there actually is. There's a small snail. I just don't know what they're called because Elena didn't tell me what they were called, but we have them in the
Oh, those
nano.
little trichrone or whatever they are snails that are like little needles on the side of a rock. Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about fermented snails.
So that one you just said, Brennan, is like a MTS.
Yeah.
Yeah, fermented snails. They're literally a tube, like a kind of like a cocoa worm tube, but they don't like extend out. There'll be like two little feelers that stick out. And if they're disrupted, they shoot webs out. Yeah, we once had a customer come in who broke down their tank. They're just like, here's all my old rock. It had like GSP green star polyps all over it, but it had fermented snails all over. I actually cut my hand open because of how sharp it was, just trying to pick the rock up out of the tub. Cut my hand, just covered in fermented snails. It was.
I had to use like carpenter gloves just to pull some out of a customer's tank once. It was so bad.
Really?
Yeah, dude, they'll cut the shit out of you, and they're too sharp to be using like rubber gloves or anything. You need something sturdier than that.
So it's like a needle snail. Like it's gonna stab you.
Yeah.
But it like embeds in the rock or embeds in your coral. Like they don't move.
Yep.
Oh, so they just catch stuff coming by, but they're there, and you try to pull it out. If you're not careful, it's gonna get you.
Yeah. Did Ed ask about the starfish?
Yeah.
The pest snurfish, yeah.
We had a whole conversation about that. Sorry, Ed.
I do believe he has a saltwater tank.
Yeah.
They're little itty bitty starfish.
Asterinas.
Yep, about the size from anywhere from like a dime to a quarter. It's usually the size you'll see them. Quarter size is a bit large for them.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You try to remove them and you cut off a leg or something, it'll grow a whole new another starfish from that cut off leg on top of regenerating the leg that the original one lost. They reproduce like crazy on top of that, and they will overtake tanks.
That's just crazy.
Yep.
Corals. Leg breaks off, that leg turns into a starfish.
Yep.
And the other one grows its leg back that fell off.
Well, you just gotta make sure you're mindful of not overfeeding and stuff like that. And you're usually pretty good, Ed.
Ian, so we actually already had a cherub angel at work, so I'll make a little short of it just for you. But no, we didn't have a
snail like that go between my fingernail and my fingernail, and it was infected and stung and ached from those tubes. Damn.
Again, you have to be careful about the bacteria in your saltwater tank. Mm-hmm. Wash your hands.
Yeah. Yeah, they were pretty. There's a whole like 3-week course in my college classes about that. If you got any cuts, scrapes, scabs, anything, you need to cover that up before you get in the tank.
Yep.
Or make sure you wash it really good after. Get some nasty. You can get it from freshwater tanks too, really.
Oh,
yeah. You can get salmonella from freshwater tanks. Yeah. Yep. Ed says I've seen them, but I just don't see how they're pests. They're so cute. So in small quantities, they're not pests. Because in our nano tank up on the front counter, we have them in there, and there's only a few, so we leave them alone. But once they start taking over, then it becomes. They will eat green star polyps 100%. Yeah, I could see that. We don't have star polyps in that tank, so. Like the one tank that doesn't have green star polyps in it.
How you been, Midnight Lobster? I haven't seen you around in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, bud.
Yeah, I'll munch on polyps too.
And we have them at work, and we pick them out because we have 2 Harlequin shrimp at work, and we keep them in catch cups with a drip line to constantly refresh the water. But yeah, we'll pick them out and feed them directly to the Harlequin shrimp. But I'll see like a little half starfish. He's just on the side of the tank, just chilling. And I'm like, I'm gonna to turn into a full starfish. I'm gonna grab. I try to only get the complete starfish for the shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we do that, all of ours are like pretty small.
So everybody knows, since we're already at an hour and a half, we'll go for another half hour here, and I'm going to call it. Pretty long stream last night. It's been a day. So, surprised I've even lasted this long.
Ian, I will send you nudes. Be quiet. We will get this Aptasia problem fixed.
I got all my reptile friends stuck on nudibranchs too.
Yeah.
Like we started saying that to you. Here, look at this nude. Look at this nude.
All these nudes. Look at my nudes.
Then like Phoenix, we were messing around, joking around, and he somehow managed to get the name Nudie Phoenix.
Nudie Phoenix.
And kept that for a while. It was pretty great. All sorts of stuff. We even had like bots in our Discord named after nudibranchs.
So, Andy, the problem with Aptasia eating filefish is that they don't always go after Aptasia. Again, I have those 3 or 4 Aptasia in my tank. I had 2 Aptasia eating filefish. They ate my Duncan coral instead. Yeah.
Duncan's beautiful. I love Duncan.
He's finally recovered back to being a normal Duncan, so now he can start growing again. He's finally got all of his tentacles back. But yeah, no, they're not a guaranteed solution. The most guaranteed solution would be your Aptasia eating nudibranch, but that's a long-term, very long-term fix.
Yep. Especially if you have a lot of it and grow it.
Yeah.
Take a while for them to get it all down.
Because like I said, from when they lay the eggs, it takes about 2 months for those eggs to hatch, them go through their larval phase, and then become more nudibranchs. So it's the long game that you're playing with the nudibranchs. And then you have to watch your water parameters. Because if you have a large infestation of Aptasia to where the nudibranchs breed to be a sizable colony, and then the Aptasia is gone, you have to watch your water parameters for when they start dying off.
Yeah.
You can tank your tank.
Yeah, they will spike.
10 gallon.
Yep. You only have a 10, so you're not going to try them? What? Oh, the filefish I think he's talking about. Nudies are Yep.
Yeah. I've never been a huge fan of filefish.
Yeah. I do like the, what are they called? The frilly filefish. I think they're cute. And I tried to get my boss to order the false saddle back puffer, the false Valentini. It's actually a filefish, but it looks just like a Valentini puffer.
Yep.
It's so freaking cute.
Them filefish are cool as hell.
I just don't like the little shitty brown and like.
Yeah, I'm looking at like a green one, green and like I guess it'd be like green. Listen, there's a lot of filefish.
Yeah.
There is, and some get massive.
Yeah. So I think I've determined that in my dream tank, where I'm going to have boxfish and probably sharp nose puffers, I'm going to have one false Valentini filefish.
Nice.
Just
Ooh,
be like
did you
one.
say sharp nose puffers?
Yeah, sharp nose. So like your Toby's, your
Ooh,
Pots, your
Toby's are
Valentini.
great.
Yeah.
I
Man,
love
I
sharp.
like that. I like that dog face one.
Dog face puffers, yeah.
I hate it when it looks at me like, "Take me home." Like, you got a nice price tag.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still gotta set some shit up for you, bud. Like,
We have one in the display tank. We call him Blue, and he has a Nemo fin. One of his front fins is smaller than the other.
oh, no kidding, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his name is Blue. Oh gosh.
I would call him Boy Blue. That's
I really like the porcupine puffers. Those are great.
They're so freaking cute too.
Yeah, they're cool too.
We have baby Brentwork.
I think the saltwater porcupines are way better, or saltwater puffers to me are way better than freshwater because they got distinguished parts to them. Like you got your porcupine, your
Yep.
dogface has its own certain way, and they're a lot more vibrant to me.
Yeah.
There's more variety to them.
Yep.
Yeah, because if you think about freshwater, you got the Naboo puffer, the Congo,
Paco.
your peas, your like there's just so many different ones, but I like the ones on the saltwater side because I feel to me they got more character.
Yeah,
Tassel.
they do. And
The
they're
tassel fish,
you
that's
got a
what
lot of more variety of colors. They have a lot more
Yeah.
variety of sizes.
Oh, the transshipment that's coming in that has all the cool stuff should be coming this week. I'm excited.
Mm.
Yeah, keep me posted on that. That stuff is. It's
Yeah. There's gonna be a blue boxfish and a cuttlefish. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, cuttlefish.
Is that the little one that looks like a Pokemon?
What kind of cuttlefish again?
We don't know. It's just a cuttlefish. I don't know what type they're sending us. We have 2 tanks set aside. So we have one wall tank. In case it's small, it'll go on the wall. If it's big, it's gonna go in with the stingrays. Good night, Danny.
Wait a minute.
Have a good night.
Thinking of that's a damn looks like a squid.
Yeah,
Yep.
looks like a squid. I was gonna say that's not very specific. Does it look like a Pokemon? Because there's 900 Pokemon now, so I don't know.
I know. I was thinking about the damn little ass fish. Kind of looks like Kirby in a way.
Frogfish.
What was it?
Oh, it could be a frogfish.
Yeah, they got a big mouth and they got little fins they use to walk around on and shit.
Or a little suction cup. Lump suckers maybe.
Lump suckers, yes.
Yeah. I love
I
lump
think it's really
suckers.
cool how they're using those guys in aquaculture,
No, but the frog
fish farms and stuff.
pretty damn cool. That
tried to
looks
get-
like a creepy Pokemon.
I
Wish
tried
I
to
had a
get
big enough tank for a cowfish. Cowfish are fantastic.
I freaking love cowfish. We have
Let's
the blue one coming in, we have a longhorn coming in, but we have a cubicus boxfish right now.
Longhorns are probably my favorite. They seemed a lot more inquisitive.
You know, speaking of cowfish, you know how whenever somebody asks you what's your most favorite fish you'd like to have if you had the room? I want a freaking cow goby. Them things are cool as hell.
Yep.
I want a tank with a school of Pyara. Vampire fish.
Oh,
You got
Oh,
the massive, like 3-inch canines.
they're
I want a
pretty,
school of them.
I don't
That
know.
would be
Saltwater
amazing.
side for me would be some kind of puffer.
Saltwater. Oh, I'd have a monster reef. Monster reef. What kind of specific biotope I would be going for, or meaning where I'd be trying to mimic? I don't know. But I just know I want like a massive, like 40,000 gallon reef tank.
That's the problem with the puffers and the boxfish and the cowfish is that they're not reef safe. So that's going to be a fish only tank.
Well,
Could you keep them
there,
together?
but there again, like when you have massive ecosystems like that, you can afford that because by the time they get around to eating all of your corals, they're already going to be reproducing more.
True.
So,
But could you put them ones together though?
Yeah.
Like, oh man. Oh hell.
Nothing
It's-
picks at your cowfish or your boxfish because they will secrete a toxin out of their skin if they're threatened. Like if their life is threatened, and it'll nuke the whole tank. It'll kill everything but them.
So you need a bigger tank for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why like Gina, and when you go to like big aquariums and stuff, you massive reef tanks you see. That's why they keep puffers and parrotfish and filefish and stuff like that because it's such a big space and it's alive. It's reproducing fast enough for them to be able to.
You could have a 40,000 gallon tank. You could have a herd of cowfish.
Right. Right.
Let's go wrangle one of them there cowfish up. We gotta take care of them today.
I'll never be able to afford a size of tank or that size of a saltwater tank. I'd never.
Oh my god! Imagine.
I wouldn't be able. First off, I wouldn't be able to afford the tank itself. Second off, I probably wouldn't even be able to afford the sand to go in it. Like,
Oh my
It would
god!
be an indoor. It would be an in-ground pool with like a hut built over it, like a house built around it.
pretty much.
You would have to do.
Yep.
That would be easy to do.
Yeah.
It would, but
It's like how Ohio Fish Rescue has their big giant freshwater.
Right, but a
Yeah, but
saltwater pool-
at $6 a pound, how many pounds do you think it would take to fill a 40,000 gallon pool with it?
We're not talking money.
But
We're just dreaming. Shut up.
Oh, well, I
have-
mean, hey,
yeah. Well, who cares about that if you're dreaming? Because if you're dreaming about it, obviously you have the money.
That's minor details, Brennan. Minor details.
I had a buddy that had a saltwater swimming pool.
Yeah.
And he said it was easier to maintain, but yet it was more expensive, but it was way better.
Yeah.
So the
Mhm.
filtration system with that, you could do it.
oh yeah,
I have a 70,000 gallon pool in my backyard. I never thought about that. Well, now you did, Ed. Now Ed's gonna do it. There we go.
if I was to,
where
it
the
would.
money's coming from. Ed's paying for it.
What would bother me to have like a 70,000 gallon Fowler display because I can't afford all the corals and rock to go in it. You know,
That,
that would be my luck.
like, I mean, honestly, if you could build that dream tank, you know what I mean? If you can physically
could.
get that built, you already spending that crap ton of money for it. So you
Yep.
already have that crap ton of money, right?
Yep.
So you're gonna make it work, and then that crap ton of money keeps coming in, hopefully, to maintain it.
Right.
License. You're paying wholesale price for all that sand. What are you talking about?
That means nothing on that large of a scale.
I
Nothing.
know sand plant.
That would take thousands of pounds of sand.
Yeah.
Only a couple triaxle load.
How much a bag of live sand is?
Yeah, I know exactly how much it is.
Yeah,
And if
about
you-
$25-$30 a bag.
Yeah, and then if you get the larger bag, that saves you more. If you get the 40-pound bags instead of the 20-pound,
Multiply that by like 1,000 or two.
details, it's fine.
Yeah. That's what
Who
I
says
thought.
picture them once? You can add to it.
Now, if I lived next to the ocean, it'd be a different story. I'd just go excavate that shit myself. Fuck it.
Oh, that'd be sweet. And because I have a hot tub that I'm thinking about turning into a goldfish pond right now.
Ooh.
The size of that hot tub, I would throw some butterfly koi in it.
Do it. I love butterfly koi.
They're my
Charge
favorite.
it, baby.
Listen, yeah, charge. Yeah, I'll be nice.
I actually, we had plans of installing a koi pond in our backyard, so I actually bought a little baby silver butterfly koi and had it in my 40 when it was still a goldfish tank. It never ended up happening, and it got a good 8, 9 inches. But my best friend's dad has a giant koi pond, so I ended up giving it to him. I was like, we never built the koi pond, and it needs to get out of this 40, so here you go.
It's funny you say that. I did that with mine. It was a golden black, like the Pittsburgh Steelers colors.
Hmm.
And I had a white one. It was white and black, kind of like a cow.
Yeah.
And that one had passed away for whatever reason. But I had a 20-gallon circle pond and I actually dug out and put it in. And I found somebody that had a pond that I knew who it was, so I knew they took care of it. I went up to that damn pond. I said, this fish are going to get big. And then the other gold, she was happy for it too, because the other goldfish that she had were like your normal. Let's go to the fair and throw a ping pong, and hopefully we get a fish type, or like your feeders.
Right.
Oh, she's real happy with that. I should have asked her how well it's doing. I need to go up and see it.
Yeah, last time I saw him was at her wedding, and I asked, I was like, "Is that silver butterfly still kicking it?" And he goes, "Yeah," and it's his only silver, so he knows exactly which one I was talking about. He goes, "Oh yeah, she's great. She's huge," and I'm like, "Yes."
Awesome.
It didn't stunt her. Good.
A lot of people might not like me so much anymore after I say this, but it's been years since I've kept goldfish or koi.
That's fine.
I don't like them. I like koi more than I do goldfish.
So for me, a regular goldfish is fine if you get it from the fair, right? Like your feeder one.
Yeah.
My issue is all of the morphs out there.
The fancy ones. Yeah.
I'm not into them, because to me, whenever I'm watching now the black, what do they call it? Black
More.
Yeah.
the black moors I like, but I'm talking about whenever you get into the ones that don't have a dorsal fin,
Or the bubble eyes and
bubble eyes, or like it's a freaking zombie that like you nuke that damn tank or something.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I don't like, because you're getting into, I call them designer fish.
Yeah. I just don't think they're pretty fish. By my standards, I don't think they're pretty fish.
No,
There's so much other stuff that I find more pretty. I don't know.
To me personally, I think that fish is suffering.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. They can't hardly swim. Yeah. When I had a fish tank in Arizona, I had a koi at one time. Oh, the dark ages. Yep.
For me, it's just got to be an impressive koi.
Yeah, it's got to be
Colors
different.
or patterns that I haven't seen before, or
the scaleless ones. Oh, those are so cool.
Yeah.
Where they just
really
have
like the silver pearl scales. Stuff like that.
Going down the spine.
Yeah, they're scaleless, but they only have a row of scales going down the spine, and they're metallic too. Oh, they're so cool.
And then the rest of the body has just a bunch of different stuff, or two of the same. Yeah, that pearl scale spine, I love that. Because whenever you're looking down to it in the sun, it's like glistening at you. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. I only kept goldfish because I had an albino Ryukin come in at Petco, and I was like, I need this fish. It had all white fantail goldfish, and had bright ruby red eyes. It was beautiful. And I was like, I need this fish. And so I impulse bought a 40 breeder and everything, set it up. Like 4 days later, I took that fish home. I was like, you're coming with me.
Ed, you got to tell them that you need a year off. If I ever stop going on these fish trips, and I can afford to fix up that hot tub, I want to buy a bunch of rock. You just tell Aqua Shell you need a year off.
My fancies are gone. I think it's going to become a flower horn tank. Maybe. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I turned mine into a saltwater tank.
There's one flower horn that I've seen, and Ed actually did the tour of it there in Miami. It was like it was black and white. I still can't find the name of it, but that would have been a flower horn that I'd have got. Because to me, it was something different.
Right. And I'm super happy. Like those flower horns that I've been producing for years now. And every one of them that I've ever gotten rid of, I've never been able to see again or anything like that. But this last batch here, a lot of people in the fish fam got some. I'm happy with that. People can share my babies.
Yeah, it was pretty cool whenever we did that for you. And we can actually do it again. I'm not doing an auction this month. Too much going on.
Oh yeah.
I want to do one next month for people.
Maybe I'll do some stony corals on the next one because I have some that are really taking off. Now that I got my alkalinity and calcium figured out and balanced, they're taking off. Oh my god! So I could probably start fragging those.
People don't realize how fast those grow.
I know when you got everything right. Oh my god, they just.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a little worried whenever we introduced salt, but it worked out well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And those frags will be much easier to ship than that whole rock. I got lucky that Danny bought the rock because I was kind of worried about that. I was like, this is going to be like a small ass, like 10, 15 pound box.
Yeah.
Right. And then sometimes it's a pain in the ass to ship corals because if they're a nice larger coral, you can't just put them in a bag because they'll get all smashed up. You got to put them in like a hard Tupperware container that's watertight and everything else.
I think we'll shoot for. I'm looking at the calendar because Fishtoberfest is Friday, October 7th.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be home the 10th. We'll shoot for the next Fish Fam auction on the 22nd of October.
Sounds good. And it'll probably be the last one for the year, right? Or are you going to try for a November one?
No, I think we could do November. I was looking at two. Yeah, December, January, February. No, I don't. I mean, we could keep doing it. People know how to do it with the heat packs and stuff, but I personally think that's too much stress on the fish.
Yeah. I could see doing like hard goods, like filters and shit like that, but.
And not only that, but December, January, the post office and delivery services are still so backed up from Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we do November and we pick it back up in March. Okay.
Ed, you mailed me a live betta. It died en route, or at least I hope you didn't send it dead.
Well, Ed said, Matt, when was that when I mailed you that dead betta to you last year?
Man, oh man.
Yeah, that thing sucks about shipping fish, but it doesn't matter because whenever you buy from a big person, you get a whole box of the same fish, you're gonna have dead fish in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get mad whenever I order fish and one shows up dead because that's just, to me personally, I think that's part of the process.
Yeah.
Most of the time it is. You're lucky if you get no casualties.
Yeah, Ian, I have I can send you some of my stonies also whenever your tank's ready for it. Just let me know.
think I only had one. Like, I had a transshipment that surprised the hell out of me one year. I had ordered 30 or 40 different species of cichlids for a customer. Out of 73 fish, I didn't even lose any until I got them in a tank. These fuckers came from the UK.
That's good.
Yeah. I've never seen another. I've never had another shipment like that. We always had something come in dead.
Yeah.
Boy.
Anytime we order leopard wrasses, we always order a little extra because they always come in. At least half of them are always dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always the pretty males too, like male vermix and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Always the prettiest ones. Antheas also. It's always the male antheas that are always coming dead.
Thinking about trying some stony coral soon, something easy like Monty or Bird's Nest, but want Aptasia gone first. Yeah. Definitely probably do it, man. You got some healthy ass corals going, man.
I have my
if
orange.
that acro is growing the way it is, you can keep some stonies.
Yeah.
Have you seen his acro lately?
Oh yeah, and then his candy cane is looking much better too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a green slimer I can frag off for you. I have the forest fire digitata. The forest fire is gonna be gorgeous. It's a nice bright orange, and all my stuff fluoresces because that's like a requirement for me. All my corals have to fluoresce.
Nobody likes poop brown corals.
Nope. They could be poop brown during the day, that's fine, but as soon as my blues come on, you better be able to see them.
That makes sense.
There are
Okay,
some pretty crappy looking corals out there.
I have one coral that does not fluoresce. It's my pink bird's nest, but that's because it's really pretty during the daytime when the lights are on. It's a nice bright pink, but it does not fluoresce.
Acros. Oh, what is that? I always forget. Is it that Favia? Favia.
Yeah.
That I was thinking of, not the acro.
It's when we were trying to figure out if it was a Favia or an acro. That's where you got acro.
Yep. LPS and softies for now. Thank you. Top shelf done. Thank God. It's a pain in the arse to clean. I bet. I learned very quickly not to do more than 2 tiers. You can, but it's a pain in the ass.
In my basement, I can only do 2 tiers, and I'm actually thankful for that.
Yeah.
Whenever I look at that top rack at the potential that it could have, when you say you would do 20 highs, no, I'm good.
Yep.
That would
I regret
like 5 gallons fry grout or something. It's just
my QT is 660 breeders, right? But there's 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. And those top tanks are such a pain in the dick. Even my tall ass, it's hard to get up there and in there to get them.
damn near need a ladder.
I do.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it like I would have to get a ladder if my basement was 10 foot. If I added that to the top. Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad it's for storage.
Queen is moving rocks again. I swear, if she lays another clutch of eggs.
She'll do it pretty regularly.
What?
But like I told you, she digs all the time.
Yeah, but when she starts moving the pebbles around, I
find
the
pebbles.
Yeah, the little rocks, the pebbles she's moving around.
Oh, she's like making a nest. So where's the black belt's friend at? You didn't
I've never been able to find another black belt big enough to put with her.
I haven't really looked yet. I'll probably start looking after my sister's wedding, because we just booked the hotel for it.
Oh yeah. That's
You need
Yeah.
at least a 6, 7-inch fish, and it's kind of hard to find a 6, 7-inch black belt ready to go.
Yeah, that would be hard.
And
Yeah.
because the size she is, you get a smaller one. There's no way you're going to be able to grow out a juvenile to her size.
It
She's
would
just
be-
too big.
How old is she?
Several years old.
Yeah.
But these guys can live like 30 years.
Well, then you probably could do.
She's
I've
not
tried. I've put her with 4 or 5-inch fish, and she's killed every one of them.
No, I'm talking about getting that male build up quickly.
They don't grow that fast. Once they start getting to a larger size like that, they start growing pretty slowly. And at that point, like, she'll get larger, and I mean, you still have the same size difference.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, she's gonna lay soon. She's trying to grab the sponge filters and move them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she's a little shit.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
hilarious. I wish everybody could see her in person because she's.
Pictures
I
don't do her justice.
I didn't even think of that whenever we all met up at the Triple Crown, because I did remember the black belt was making a journey.
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot about it.
She did really good too. She actually like started coloring back up in the tub before.
Oh, that's a good thing.
A week after I had her, she's laying eggs.
Yep.
Within 2 weeks, but I think it was like a week after. Do you have any button scullies? We actually just got 2 little button scullies in, and then we have a larger one. So yeah, we do have button scullies at work. I'll send you pictures.
Well, guys, we just hit that 2-hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about pests in saltwater tanks.
I know I
A lot of
learned a
people
lot.
talk about it too much, so it wasn't nothing too crazy. Just had a good discussion about it, the different types and whatnot. If you guys have any more questions about that, you guys know where to get a hold of us. Email, Instagram, Discord for me. Next stream. What is it? So yeah, next stream's Tuesday. There's a good chance I won't see you guys Thursday. Probably won't see you guys Thursday. This is the day I'm heading to the Clash. Although I think I'm leaving later on in the afternoon.
And I won't be streaming either. I have to work Thursday.
Yeah. She may or may not see me. Who knows?
I
Not
know
sure what
I'm
we're gonna.
busy.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Wanted to get. Both my rides are heading down there Thursday, so it's like a 6-hour drive. So I'm not getting there in the afternoon, and no matter what I do,
I'm gonna need help with the fish fan booth.
I can help. I think it's like Saturday. I volunteered to help out for a few hours at the.
Huh?
I volunteered to help in the the hospitality room for a couple hours on Saturday. Besides that, I'll help all you want.
Oh, hey, I need Thursday and Friday morning.
Friday morning, I could help with for sure. Thursday, I'm just not going to be there.
Well, the thing is, I just got to help set up that fish show.
Oh yeah.
That's first thing. That's the first thing you got to get set up. Once it's set up and running, everything else flows.
I was supposed to help. I just didn't know if I was going to be there until later on in the afternoon, and that's the case. So I'm not really able to do much unless they're all still going to be there doing shit at 10 o'clock at night.
No, we got to be out of there at a certain time. It's different. It's a different part. It's the same family, but it's a different person. If you're there after a certain amount of time, they'll charge you or some stupid thing like that.
That's weird.
Which, let me meet the owner. I'll sweet talk him.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all being here. And we'll see you guys
Thanks.
Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Bye.